Aloha kakayaka means good morning to you. Well, this morning it started off as a beautiful day. It's still beautiful, but it's chilly. Well, today is January the 8th, and 1 week has passed by since the opening of 2022. And if you've been following me, don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube, where you can see series, because I love to talk and sometimes my talk goes on and on. So I'm breaking it down to more shorter videos. So the next video you can hear about this subject or that subject, because I can talk. Because I'm so lucky to be filled with different kind of energy of listening and really being able to get all these knowledge that I love to share or what I'm going through. And so this is really a pick-me-up journey with everybody, collective energy. And that's what we do with my group, where we have, if you find out who's on my group, it's all over the world. And like this morning, I was talking to one person and they was eating at my favorite Italian restaurant, El Paseo. And I was like, oh my God, you're lucky. Your dog is over there too. And so anyways, to make a long story short, I was just thought of something, what he went through yesterday out in Beverly Hills. And it's funny because yesterday I was going through a lot of things that I needed to finish up for things in LA. And that was, it was funny how things kind of, you don't even know where it hits. People are kind of doing the same thing. And so that's why I'm saying is that when you have a good group of people that you just somehow connected by, a kaihimo or a red string, that you're destined to meet them for that certain reason, for the season, and for the lifetime. Because how you grow a relationship, whether whether it's your friends, even your relative, or even your clients, or even your workout buddy, or even whatever it is, the dog park group, or your walking group. And so each and every one of us have our little own tribe or people that we get our own collective energy that we work through, like a pod. And so that's what's happening, where we kind of moved into this pod-like grouping, because that's what it started to happen in 2020. And it was so funny because thanks to Facebook and, my smartphone that gives me memory, I was like, oh my God, this would happen in January 7th, which I always been celebrating 7th Heaven Day since the Orange Building. And so I was looking at that, commercial I did, and I have it up on my YouTube, as well as my social media. We offer different kind of events and so I love to do that. But at the same time, I have so much things going on. And so that's why when we start the new year, and I'm sure all of you guys probably feels the same, we get overwhelmed because the energy, yay, 2020 is gone, yay, 2021 is gone. Here comes 2022. So we have our ways of closing the chapter. I mean, for me, I was at home, it was raining, and I was like, oh no, the light. And I hit myself. I got this big, huge, scratch that was bleeding. And I'm like, oh no, what a way to, going to start the new year. And I went to wash it out, and I had to stop myself. And I said, I am so glad that I got hurt. And the first thing that came into my mind, and you have to put a checklist. And when you have these boom, boom, boom thoughts, like, it takes you to where the next energy will go. If you think, oh, I'm going to get bad luck, oh, I'm going to get this, oh, I'm going to get, this and that. First thing I did was take care of it. Spray water. It was stinging. Yes, it's going to hurt because it's fresh, but at the same time, I was going negative, and then I stopped myself to make myself feel better, to heal better. And I said, oh my God, thank God I got hurt. It was a message for me to pay attention, because you're going to might stumble upon things. Because sometimes when we hit things hard, boom, like a car accident, or boom, we just got hit with a lawsuit, or boom, we got into a death or something. Big impact stuff happens like this. But if we stumble upon it, like what happened to me over there, and I wasn't paying attention because, I have a little big, huge ceramic pot over there that has a sharp edge, it gave me that thought like, oops, before I leap into things, like leap into 2022, I got to stumble into 2022. And so really it's so funny. I'm getting text after text from my family members all of a sudden. And, this is so cute. Oh my God. Oh. My niece found this, and it has, have a picture of my mom and dad and her when she was little, and the picture of my dad. You see, so it's these kind of messages that you just need to breathe and take the time, because good wishes or your guardian angels are coming around. And during this 7th heaven period, which I created for the New Year's, from the 1st to the 7th, you're going to start experiencing all these changes within yourself, especially your emotion. Because your emotion is going to take you through many different facets of like, oh no, how is my financials going to be? How is my love life going to be? How is my health going to be? How is going to be XYZ going to be? And so we get in this rush mode where we need to accelerate all these things. But if we do it too fast, then it's, especially now, because we're going to 2022 to 2024, as you've seen in my other video, explain about the quantum leap. And, people's like, what is she talking about? Well, I'm not going to explain it on this video, because the quantum leap is a whole nother animal of subject to get into. But basically, this month, January, is what we do is called cleaning out things that when we look at it, you get a reflection on what you want to do. Some people hold on to it and they carry it into the next year, whether it's things, because humans are creatures of bad habits, and some of the habits that we bring in, and saying that, oh, we're going to get healthy, or we're going to get this, but they're still not, not exercising, or they do too much exercise and try to hit the mill and, do too much, where your body is going to go into shock, and it gives you a faster reason, excuses that you might create. Oh no, I hurt my leg, I can't do yoga. Oh, I hurt my back, I can't go walking. Oh, I don't feel well. Well, guess what? We all feel that. And that's part of the energy that we're going to start to feel. And so I'm going to be listing down, how certain tips and how to kind of overcome it, because we all go through that stumbling block. And, in the beginning of the year, because if we do too much, we're going to exhaust ourselves, right? Like how we train, how we box, you watch fights like the MMA, or, if we use too much, sometimes it works. and sometimes it doesn't work. And so we need to figure out what we need and what kind of ways to do it. Because if we don't plan out, then it's going to give us some of these duh moment or some of this lazy moments or XYZ moments where we're going to kind of maybe step back and not do it. And so that's one thing that we need to work on this week, starting from today, 8/8, right? And so we have the 1st to the 7th, which is really our transition into the energy of 2022. Some people say, well, it's really not the beginning of the year. It's, and it all depends on when you want to do it. Some people celebrate it in March. Some people celebrate it, at a certain different time. But these are just tools to use when you do this leap, because we are going into the quantum leap for the next 2 years. You're going to see things that's changing already, where I've been saying it, where it's the old versus the new system. Whether it's the government, whether it's politics, whether it's the medical field, whether it's the school system, financial system, the systems are changing within its time. And it's like this pool of energy, because they know the old system, that they have to upgrade themselves to the technology system, the cloud system. And so that's why, you've been seeing a lot of these people, billionaires who became billionaires during the pandemic, jump on their spaceship and go to the moon, the Mars, like Jeff Bezos, what's the other guy, the Virgin Record guy, Bronson, all these people. Who would have thought 20 years ago that they'll be, during a pandemic, going in? Because there's something of what's happening around the world, around the earth. And so, it's really, when you look at it and go down to how it's breaking down to when things are changing, it's all about all these things that we study about. I'm very fortunate because I have a nice group of very interesting people from around the world, whether they're from Greece, India, Dubai, Japan. We all come together in collective energy to talk about different things. And so these things that, of course, we don't share out loud in where you can sign up and do this and that. It's been going on for a while. I don't know how I got into the group, but I got into the group. It's not like I signed up. It just happens. And when it happens, we just kind of come together, talk story, and just like what happened this morning, I learned a whole bunch of things, You see how numbers just kind of align, 244. And so it's like these things. When you see certain numbers, boom, you take pictures. Like now, Saturday, January 8th, 244. Okay, so and then you already know what those messages means or what it has been, because it's the rhythm of numerology. And I learned some of it, but I am not one that teaches that. I implement that as part of my tools that I learn. And so all of these things, why we have numbers, why we have alphabet, why we have certain languages, it's the way we have to communicate in this world. Like plants, they talk to each other. Flowers, they talk to each other. Yes, the birds and the dogs and the trees and everything is because it's this frequency of energy. Like, I know I can listen to my waterfall over here and know that it needs more water. The flow of energy, water, which I was really, really interested because it's such a powerful force that it creates life. It creates detoxing your whole entire body to replenish it, like how I'm doing my micro bubble, and how I was able to collectively engage in getting different kind of ways to create your own method, your own system. And I've been very lucky to create that monopause system with the power of miracle micro bubble. And so that is another segment I'm going to be talking about, because that has so much energy and so much frequency on how to do it DIY yourself. And I have case studies for the past decade, for the past 15 years. I just found videos of when I first did it, doing miracle micro bubble back in 2007, I think. And so things like that has its legend of knowledge, because history don't lie. And history has a meaning to be there, because it was part of the reason for that season to give us the history of a lifetime that we learn. And so the full moon is coming up on the 17th, for example, on Martin Luther King Day. He created history out here in the United States of what he's done. And so whether you're someone that's living in France, or someone that's living in Israel, or someone that's living in Japan, or someone that's living in London, or Africa, Brazil, there's always that somebody that created some kind of a history because due to his knowledge. And so we are right now living in this part of huge history that impacted the whole entire universe, literally. And so that's why when that happens, it's not a certain state or country. This pandemic had an effect to the whole entire universe. And so back in 2019, you can feel, and if you are very conscious and have that energy or that feeling, you can feel what is happening around you. So each morning, how I wake up is I literally go outside, look at my garden that I created in the last 21 months. Yeah, because the pandemic started in March. And so literally, or 22 is going to be, yeah. So you see, whether it's a big garden or a small garden, or like now I have one fighting fish. Because somehow, some way, my koi fish all died. Now I have a whole bunch of guppies over there, and this one over here, it's so cute. It knows when to come. And so we talk story. Beautiful. It's a fighting fish. And, and I always think of it as a reflection of me, where, in this world we come alone. And sometimes if we don't fight our own battle, which is our self-awareness, then we keep on kind of denying ourselves the chance, the opportunity that we can seek to close one chapter and open the next. So that's why it's so important to understand that in order for us to go forward, we need to close it. And so take that time really to do the sweeping, cleaning up. And once we start to clean up, we got to listen and hear within the higher whisper of getting this mental clarity, because sometimes when we are not ready to hear or to experience new things, our system is not going to really generate that gas, that drive, that clear conscious, that welcome back to school, that clear chalkboard in our mindset. And so I have things I wrote in my YouTube about mindset as well. So this segment is really about working. We did the 1st to the 7th, now the 8th to the, I'll say the 17th, the 18th, because the 17th is the full moon. And so I'm going to go more into the full moon in the next YouTube video, but I'm just getting you guys prepared, because if I tell you what's going to happen the whole entire 2022, it's overwhelming, and it's going to be a forever long videos that I can't do. So I'm going to go maybe segment and cut it shorter so we can all work together in striving forward, because it's a lot to do. Once you get to understand this system of how to use these tools that's around us, you know, like for example, the moon power, or the crystal power, or your garden power, the nature power, the sun power, the air power, you know, the breath, and how we can use the air to bring in and bring out our breath of life each day, and how to meditate, and how to concentrate to clear up our consciousness for the day. Because if we don't take care of self-care, because some people say self-care is luxury. No, it's hard work. They try to make self-care as a luxury product, but really it's an inner work product. That work starts from the inside. Because from then, we can use the material outer sides. For example, okay, skincare. You have to practice doing that, taking care. Because sometimes I screw up. I don't do a pack. Like the other time, I'm like, yeah, I can do a pack. I'm going to put some collagen. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, you know. And then, you know, that's when we go do the outer self-care, or like, okay, I haven't done a good scrub. Use some of these organic things that we have. Instead of throwing it away, recycle, repurpose your coffee grinds. Mix it up with some brown sugar. Like the other day, I always have tea with lemon, and I use that lemon. And stay tuned in how to clean your food, detox your food, give them that spa, I put lemon and citrus. Well, anyways, I put that up in my other videos. But you see, this is what my channel is all about. Cocojor channel. We talk about things that we always can go forward and move ourselves every day in, and how to kind of organize ourselves, because that is part of self-awareness and self-care. Because we're going to say, oh, you know, make it a habit. Recognize your bad habit, you know, and implement. And don't be too hard on yourself. Like, okay, if your leg is too sore, and because I've been getting, you know, because I've been doing everyday yoga, but it's stretching my muscles. You know, exercising is literally stretching your muscles. And you will go through that for the first 10 days because your muscles is not recognizing. All of a sudden, boom, we start to go running, or boom, we start to, you know, exercise. And so, you know, I love to get back myself into walking, and I've been doing that. And I was, you know, thank God I did that, because I had the beautiful opportunity on the new moon to see this huge, intense, like, clouds. And I just posted it in my group, and how it looked like. It was like, whoa, this is something of pure energy. And that's why it's good, because you get to entertain yourself by looking at these wonderful things that are just, energy just calling out to say, re-energize yourself, your body. So get out there and have that clearness. Walking is really clears out your mind, body, and soul, and it's part of meditation because you're so into breathing better and putting in fresh oxygenation and using these elements that we have out there. So stay tuned for more tips for 2022. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Facebook on Cocojor Hawaii. I'll be posting more on that because I've been posting on my personal side, but then now I got a lot of things going. So, I'm trying different tools on how to, be organized and post it. And now because there is just so much things that there is out there in technology. So really, it's time for that change and getting ready for the next 2 years. I usually getting ready for the next 1 year, but it's really this quantum leap is going to go really quick. But at the same time, we have to be grounded, number one, and we have to be organized to see the next 24. So 24 months, we have a lot to do because by then it's going to be really a new system because we're slowly moving, whether they're going to start to do a lot of mandates, I said, so we have to watch out for that systems. Anything to do with systems, there's going to be very huge changes. So really keep an eye on different media sources because don't just focus on one certain country. Look at all. Look at all to get your sources because, there is going to be a huge changes. And as we saw it what happened in the last 2 years, how our life just changed, how we feel about, and I've been saying this, human versus humanity because we have so much against each other, and how they've been treated, whether they're vaccinated or unvaccinated. The treatment has been erupted. The treatment of saying corona itself is worse than AIDS, and the way people see things, it's really divide. It was the things that we need to really focus on, all those kind of law and order, a lot of truth, a lot of poisoning is in the readings, that we need to look out because we've already been hit here in Hawaii with our water, which I've been saying it over and over again from my other YouTube video that, really water is such a strong message coming up, or it's already came and it's flowing through that flow because it's just like when we open up a dam, the flow of energy is like whoop, and the water power, because that's what we're created, 80%, whether you are a human or a dog, some of the vegetables and plants, they have really is floating with water energy. And so water plays a lot. I just saw the Hatsuyuki out in Japan, which takes me back 20 years ago when I first started Cocojor. 20 years ago, I was in the middle of Japan, and all of a sudden it was like, wow, snow, huge amount of snow. So Mother Nature is on point on how it changes every 20 years. So when I'm saying a lot of the energy, the frequency, and the vibrations is changing. So keep up with the time, keep up with our health, and most of all, keep up with what we want to do. Be in control, stay in control, and have that power up. Take care, and I'll see you on our next video. And don't forget to subscribe. Aloha.